Hey guys, so I know if you watch all my videos, you have already seen me looking just like this in the same shirt, makeup, hair, all that. I was gonna change and then I was like, do I really care? No, I really don't. I just told you in the other video I was about to do this anyway, so I might as well just go ahead and show y'all all the stuff that I took to the beach. And no, let me rephrase that. This is not everything that I took. This is the stuff that I used. Like, this is the stuff that I got like a good full beat glam face out of, but there's actually not too much stuff sitting in front of me. It's a lot, I'm not gonna lie. There's probably 20 products sitting in front of me, but I have 3 primers sitting right here, so it's not like you need every single primer that I used. Okay, let's go ahead and get into it, because apparently tonight I can just talk and talk and talk. So, 4 primers. Well, I guess I will start with 4 items because they're all things I put on before my foundation. First thing, Drunk Elephant De-Bronzy Drops. I absolutely love these. They are my favorite way to make my face match my body when I'm self-tanned. My face never matches my body when I self-tan. It's just a thing that I'm going to have to learn to live with. But this makes it much easier, and even if I'm not gonna wear makeup, I love to put this on. So this is a big bring to the beach favorite of mine. And then the next thing is this weightless liquid mineral sunscreen with, I'm sorry, my phone keeps cutting in and out because I keep getting a phone call that is really starting to irritate me. So anyways, this I've heard so many people raving on and on and on about this summer. I think Madison Miller was talking about it, the Taylor was talking about it, a bunch of people have been. This is so great. I love it. It's SPF 30 and it has a little bit of a tint to it. It doesn't give you any kind of coverage, but it just works so good. And I did not get any sun on my face at all, which is amazing coming from someone so freaking pale. The next thing was a huge lifesaver because it was so freaking hot and so freaking humid. Holy crap. This Makeup Forever Step 1 Mattifying Primer saves my life. This on my T-zone, I don't think any oil could ever break through. This is like straight up just putting like super glue on your face. It's so good and I love it so much. Like, it just, ever since I've gotten this, my makeup game has like changed on my nose, because it doesn't, like, if I get like beads of sweat on my nose or anything like that, it doesn't like just melt off, if that makes sense. And then the last thing I actually got as a sample in one of my last purchases. This is the This is the Tatcha, the liquid silk canvas, and I have really been wanting to try this out, really not wanting to spend $50 on it, so I'm very glad to have gotten this little, I think it was like a points perk or something on Sephora, and super excited to have it. I've only used it a couple of times. I used it when I was doing my makeup tonight, and I feel like my skin looks really good, so I like this. I'm not the biggest fan of the actual putty, so I think I might like this more, but I definitely need to try it out more than I have. The next couple things are the 2 foundation products that I brought. I got the Clinique Moisture Surge Sheer Tint Hydrator, and this is SPF 20. Then I also brought the Dior Face and Body whatever foundation. 2 very different products. This I love for that matte finish. This I love for a very different, hydrated, running out to the beach, I just want a tiny bit of coverage kind of look. These 2 together are absolutely beautiful though. So that was fun to mix around, and I'm really glad that I had the 2 of these to play around with. And then for concealers, I also have 2 of those. First one is the Dior Forever Skin Corrector, and I love this with the Face and Body. Like, I actually love these together. I don't go for that. Like, you need the concealer that goes with the foundation, that goes with the powder, that goes with the bronzer, that goes with this, that goes with the primer. I don't do that. But, I mean, it's not even that these go together. They're just both Dior. But those work so well together. And the Dior, something about this formula, the more I wear it, the more I love it. And it just doesn't crease for me. It sets really well. I can put it just around my face in a few different places and blend that out. I don't have to actually wear, like, any foundation. It's just really nice, and I love this, and there's so much in here. And I also always have to have this. This is like a ride or die. This will always be in my travel bag. It's a mini of the Born This Way sculpting concealer. I have this one in Snow, which I think is like one of their lightest shades, but this I will add to anything if I want to brighten my face, or if I just want a tiny bit of coverage. I can put a tiny dot of this, and it actually gives me like a decent amount of coverage, which is pretty insane, saying that it's so light, but it just works wonders, and this will always be in my travel bag. Next are the three cream products that I used the most. Knowing me, you know, I brought like 40, and I did. But these are the three that really like did everything that I needed them to do. First one being the Tarte Breezy Cream Bronzer. This is just like another ride or die for me now. I'm obsessed with this. I do like it more than the Fenty. I like it more than basically any other cream bronzer. I love this. And I love the color. Just, it's getting to look nasty because I use it so much and I don't care. It is so, so good. But it is on the cooler side. And if I want a really nice bronzy like look to my skin, I cannot talk tonight. A really, really bronzy look to my skin. I love the Terracotta Tan from Nude Sticks. I'm going to do a full face of Nude Sticks in the next week, so stay tuned for that if you are interested. And also, I just kind of want to throw this into a couple of videos. If you've made it to this point, drop some rainbows down in the comments, and that will give you an extra entry to the 150 subscriber giveaway. So, now let's get back to the creams. The Terracotta Tan just looks really, really good mixed with the Tarte. They're completely different tones. This is a much warmer tone, and the Tarte is much cooler. It basically looks like a contour shade if you put it beside this one. So that is the Nude Sticks, and that's the Tarte. But both of them together just give you such a nice, like, sun-tanned glow. And then for blush, I was surprised I used this as much as I did, but this is the Tower 28 Golden Hour blush, and I just love this one. Like this, the color, the formula, the way it wears, the way it blends out, everything about it is so good, and I love it. So this I have picked up more than any Fenty blush, more than any of that, which I'm surprised about. I still love the Fenty cream blushes, and I used those a few times while I was down there, but that one was just such a good, like, just plop a little something on your cheeks and run. So I guess while we are on creams, I will talk about this because it's not a powder. I absolutely love these Too Faced Melted Chocolate Matte Lipsticks eyeshadows. They are such an easy, just like one swipe wonder. All you do is dot a little on your eye, take a huge fluffy brush, blend it out. If you want to, take some highlighter, take an eye topper, whatever, put a little bit on your lid, and you are good to go. It is like the quickest get ready ever, and it looks like you took so long to blend out like 3 different transition colors when you really just threw this on. So I love these. I used these more than any powder shadow down there, and my mom kept being like, "What's on your eyes? That looks so good." And I was like, "You need to try these babies." So she tried them and she was like, "Holy shit, that's amazing." And I was like, "I know, right?" Okay, so we're done with creams. Let's get into powders. To set my face, I had more than this, but this is all that I needed. I had my Laura Mercier Under Eye Setting Powder, which I use religiously every time I put concealer under my eye. And the other two I brought were the Charlotte Tilbury and MAC Studio Fix. These are just like true ride or dies. The days that I would put just a little bit of this concealer on and kind of dab it around and not use any foundation, I would go over with some of this just to give me a little bit of coverage, and it looked really, really great. Like, it looked like I was actually just wearing foundation, but it was so quick to do. So I'm really glad that I started doing that. Then when I did wear some foundation, I usually just grab for my Charlotte Tilbury. It's kind of my, just like, I know this is going to work. So those were the powders for setting my face. And then this is where it gets tricky. But for bronzers, I'm going to stick with what I've been saying for the past little bit now. I love the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush bronzers. They're stunning. I think if you are my skin tone, 2 will work for you. I use 2 more than I use 3. I use 2 today, and it looks really good. When I had sunless tan for like 3 days in a row, I was using number 3. So I think if you're any darker than me, I would definitely go to 3. But if you are around my skin tone, I do think that 2 is a really good everyday bronze shade. And 3 is definitely warmer. So I'm super happy that I do have the 2 of them. But I love these so much. They're so creamy, so buildable, just like really, really good. So I love these, and since they are matte, I do always bring my mini Tom Ford Gold Dust. This thing has seen better days. I'm probably like close to hitting pan on this. I use this more than I've ever used any bronzer ever, and I have like the full size just waiting for me whenever I run out of this, because I know it will happen. I will probably use this until the day that I die. It's so good, and it's so good on top of that Charlotte Tilbury bronzer. So good. That is the perfect combination. And if you have that Tarte cream bronzer underneath, so good. And then for my brows, I was usually just using the brow gel out of this new Marc Jacobs, what is it, the Brow Wow pen thing. So I used the brow gel out of this a lot, but when I did put anything else in, I just threw in the Benefit Goof Proof eyebrow powder. I felt like this was just a really easy way to kind of like put in some color where I needed it, but also not like fuss around with pencil strokes and hair marks, and I just did not have time for that while I was down there. Like, Parker was ready to go, and we woke up and we went to the pool and we went to the beach and we went here and we went to eat and we did this and we did that, and we did not stop. So I just needed something that made me feel a little more confident, but did not take years and years and years to do. So I was trying to think what blush I was putting on down there, and I do have one in my kind of custom Z palette that I have here that I used a couple of times. This is the Kat Von D, I think it's called Ever Rose or something like that. But honestly, this Tower 28 blush is so good. You can dab it on top of your powder and it looks totally, completely, perfectly fine. So I use this the majority of the time. And then for highlighter, I'm still gonna ride on and on and on about this, the Guerlain Meteorites. It's so good. I don't know, it's just, I'm blown away by it. I'm not sure if it's because I didn't expect to love it and I'm obsessed with it. I don't know if it's like just a mind trick thing. I'm not sure. I think it's just absolutely stunning and I cannot put it down. I reach for this every single time unless I'm like, no, Hattie, use this today, which that says a lot to me. So this, as well as the Charlotte Tilbury highlighter wand, I actually finished one. That's how much I love that. So that will be in an empties video if I ever get one of those out. I just have a couple more things I wanted to touch on. For another highlighter option, I also brought my MAC Whisper of Guilt, just because there's not a gold in the Guerlain palette thing. I mean, there kind of is. There is a gold, but this is like gold. This is kind of a rosy gold and gold. So going for like a bronzy look, I think this Whisper of Guilt, so pretty. And I did use this a couple of times. Actually, I layered these both times I used this one, I think. I'm pretty sure I did. Another really good thing that another thing I'm really glad that I had while I was down there is my Hourglass Ghost Edit palette. This is just another thing that's super easy to grab and you just have like everything you need. You have your bronzer, your blush, your highlight. You can honestly even set your face with these two ambient powders. It's just an amazing palette, and I can't wait for like the next holiday season so I can see what they're gonna put in their next one. I really, really wish they would do like another version so they could have like a light medium and then a medium deep version so you could kind of get two different variations of it. I know last year there are two variations of the edit palette, or the Ghost Edit palette, but I have both of them and they work just fine for me. So I don't think it was like a skin tone thing. I think it was just two variations, which is fine. But if you're gonna do two variations anyway, why wouldn't you make it so even more people could love these bomb-ass products? Just saying. Okay, now I'm gonna talk to you about my custom Z palette here. So I know this is gonna kill some people. Actually, a bunch of stuff in here. This, and this, all of that is Kat Von D. I popped these three out of the Shade and Light palette, and then this I popped out of a blush. Well, out of a little blush and highlight palette thing. So these two are so good for setting under your eye. I'm obsessed with them. I've loved them for a long time. I stopped using them for a long time, and now I'm using them again because she's not a part of it and I love the formula. So this is also an amazing contour. I love this shade. It's so good for me. I know it looks really, I mean, it's cool toned for sure, and it's definitely for fair skin. So that's why I have this one popped out. But in that palette, there are two other contour slash kind of bronzy shades. I think one of them is a little too warm to be considered contour, but whatever. But these two are great for setting under your eyes. Then I have my favorite 6 Tati shades here. I think this is what, Aura, Soothe, Ritual, Poet, Story, and Aura again. So I have all of the no, I don't. I was gonna say I had all of the finishes that she has, but I don't. I just have the mattes of those 4. I have a metallic and then one of her glitters, and then all of these are Makeup Geek, and they are so good. Using this palette, you can do so much. I mean, like, these are all of the shades that I need basically for any time like I'm doing anything. I can make a cool, pretty deep, smoky, kind of purpley eye with it. I can do a nice, bright, everyday eye. You know, whatever you need to do, this can kind of do it for you. So I would suggest everyone just making their own little custom palette if you are really going to be traveling and stuff like that. And, you know, you can always depot basically anything. Like, there are very few things that you cannot depot. This Tom Ford bronzer, I'm not going to do it because this tiny thing is $75 freaking dollars, but once I'm done with it, I am going to figure out how. So I can pop this right beside that blush. Well, even like, whatever, I'll rearrange, but just saying, you can basically depot anything, put it into a Z palette, and it makes your life so much easier. Now, for an eye topper, I'm super surprised that I love this as much as I do. If you saw the video where I tried this, you would know that I was like, this doesn't have any payoff. This isn't pretty. There's no this. This is stunning. It is Rowan Disco Eye Universal. It's just such a good topper. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's almost this like creamy, but it's not a cream, but it's not a, I don't know what the heck it is, and it looks like nothing when you put it on your hand, but you put it on your eyeball and it's just stunning. So this is so nice, and honestly, I should probably depot this and just throw that right in here. If anyone like wants to see me do that, let me know, and I will definitely like get a few things out of my collection that I have been wanting to depot, and we can kind of do it together. So I just have a couple of things left. I have these 2 mascaras that I have been loving the combination of. This is the NARS Climax mascara, and this is the Marc Jacobs At Lashed. This is a new love, and it is just so damn good. Like, that's all that I have on my lashes today, and it just, I have like a coat and a half on. Like, I don't have to build it up too much, but I think it gives such nice definition, and I just love it. And then this one gives you this good, like, fluffy, just, it's so good. Both of them are really, really good. For eyeliner, I used my House Labs that I'm obsessed with. I reach for this one every time I do any kind of liquid liner now. It is by far my favorite, and I just love that this point has stayed pointy, because so many of my liquid liners, they get to be like this little stumpy thing before I'm out of the ink. So I can't use it anymore, but, you know, I can't use it anymore, but it's not out of product. And then my favorite gloss from when I was down there was the Tower 28. What is this one? It is the Chill gloss. This is just the clear one. I just like threw this on my lips all the time, and it's so good. Like, it just gives you the perfect like wet lip look, and I love that. So I don't know. I know this was probably pointless to a lot of people, and to a lot of people it was kind of more like, whatever, I have nothing else to watch, which I feel you. So I hope you at least enjoyed, and if nothing else, y'all kind of know a bunch of my favorites now. Oh, I also always travel with a mini Urban Decay all-nighter. I could not think of the name of it. So I think that's it. I will see you in the next video, and I hope you're having a great day, night, evening, weekend, whatever it is, wherever you are. Bye.